everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is an MBTI personality type assessment of Lady Gaga. Again, when it comes to the 16 personality types, they can be grouped in four main ones. The first one are sensor judgers, the second sensor perceivers, the third intuitive thinkers, and the last one intuitive feelers. To me, Lady Gaga comes across as a sensor perceiver, and I will explain why. Again, I have some notes here so I don't miss anything. So, Lady Gaga was born Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanotta on March 28th, 1986. So right now she's 36 years old. She has a younger sister, and obviously her parents are still alive, if I'm not mistaken. She wrote her first song when she was only 4 years old, so she was very much a precocious child, and so she was interested in music and singing at a very early age. She went to NYU for 1 year. She dropped out because she felt that it was not really helping her career. So she decided, okay, I'm just going to focus on, actually she had a band and she played in different clubs to get, experience, but also to become better known. And so the story behind the fact that she's named Lady Gaga is that it refers to the song by Queen, Radio Gaga, and her producer, back when she was in New York and trying to, becoming well known, said that she is as sort of theatrical as the song Gaga, Radio Gaga. So she decided to put Lady in front of the word Gaga, and that's how she became Lady Gaga that we know right now. When it comes to the different hats that she wears, Lady Gaga is a singer, songwriter, she's an actress, a philanthropist, a designer, producer. She also is a LGBT advocate. So she's someone who likes to explore a number of aspects, and that you'll see that a lot with sensor perceivers. So these are people at an early age. They're the type of people who like to be expressive, be different. They're the creative type, and they don't fare well in structured, very sort of like contained environments, just like when you think about going to school, university. So these are people who like to start early. They figure that they can sort of find their way when it comes to their careers, and that's what Lady Gaga did. I mean, she dropped out from university after 1 year because she realized it would not help her. And so these are risk takers, and that is really much aligned with sensor perceivers. And when it comes to the different areas that she's interested in, that is typical of sensor perceivers. So in other words, there are people who are not shy of trying out different businesses, trying out to be an actress and as a singer. And obviously these areas are high risk, but with sensor perceivers they have high tolerance for risk. So obviously most actresses, actors, don't have a stable job, but that's fine with these people because they'd rather risk stability and security for the ability to express themselves and be as free as possible, because obviously with success at that level you have the financial stability which allows them to again venture into different areas that interest them. So the other aspect is that with her lifestyle, obviously in terms of it affects her private life. So if let's say someone is touring all the time, because she produced like 5 albums, so she herself calls herself very dedicated to her art, so you have less time to devote to romantic relationships or because you're always on the road. So you'll see that with sensor perceivers. So Lady Gaga comes across as a feminine energy, so she comes across as kind, empathetic. She often talks about love and be able to help others, but also she tends to be kind of emotional. Let's say if she talks about let's say different aspects of her life, when she was interviewed by Oprah, you can tell there is someone whose heart is easily touched. So that's why I would say that Lady Gaga comes across more as a feminine energy versus masculine energy. So when it comes to philanthropic work, for example, she participated in the 2010 Haiti earthquake relief effort. She also created the Born This Way Foundation. She also participated in the MTV Japan charity because they had an earthquake and tsunami at some years ago. She also donated $1 million to the American Red Cross for victims of Hurricane Sandy, among other help that she provided to others. So since she's someone who comes from the heart, the other point also is that we ask ourselves the question whether she is an introvert or extrovert. I think that it's pretty obvious that she's someone who's an extrovert. She gets energized by being around people, but she's really over the top in terms of how she dresses and so forth. So she's someone who is comfortable not only being the spotlight but also being that dramatic or theatrical. So this is not something that you'd see with someone who is mostly an introvert, because they will be more the type to like to be behind the scene, which is not with Lady Gaga. Actually, she celebrates people who are as unique as they want to be and as authentic. So this is something you'll see a lot with people who are the center perceived with the feminine, because they have introverted feeling as their first or second function. In the case of Lady Gaga, it would be the second function, and the first function would be extroverted sensing, which has to do with being in the moment, but also someone who's very action oriented, so in the moment. So you'll see that with sense of perceived, there are people who are about doing things, and that's why they tend to be really driven. So I would say that Lady Gaga, because of these characteristics, is probably an ESFP. And the other point with sense of perceived, that there are type of people who tend to be interested in business. In the case of Lady Gaga, she was the face of Versace. She also created a vegan cosmetic brand. The name is Haas Laboratories. She also combined forces with Polaroid, obviously taking pictures. So these are some of the things that she was involved with. And also, as we said, that the center perceivers, when they are very talented and they put a lot of effort, and obviously there's luck involved, they can do very well. For example, in terms of the awards that she has received, for example, 13 Grammy Awards, 1 Oscar, 2 Golden Awards, and 3 Brit Awards, among other things that she received. So obviously, I think that Lady Gaga is your typical center perceived in terms of her life story. She's only 36 years old, and according to Forbes, she's worth about $150 million at this time, around like 2022. To summarize, I would say that Lady Gaga is a typical center perceived in the sense that she, at an early age, she was interested in the arts, and she's a singer, songwriter, actress. So these are areas that are very much for center perceivers. The other aspect is that she's someone who comes across as empathetic and kind, easily emotionally moved. So that is typical of someone who is right brain dominant. The other point also is that she's someone who's expressive and who wants the spotlight. So that is typical of center perceivers who are the extrovert type, and she's someone who feels energized by being around people. So for all these reasons, I would say again, Lady Gaga is your typical ESFP. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this personality type assessment by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.